How's it going, guys? Today I'm wanting to address a question I get asked all the time, which is not how do I get out of playing pentatonic licks, but how do I repurpose the scale and playing the same old licks over and over again. So in this lesson, I don't know how many I'm giving you, but I'm basically covering some of the more basic ideas, going right up to the difficult and the weird, probably. Some of you are going to ask about my gear. Today I'm using this Harley Benton Fusion T in this really lush purple sparkle finish. I'm going to be doing a demo on it soon, but also a lot of people ask about amps, picks, etc. And when it comes to picks, I'm not that picky. That was a bit gross. But I am using today the Dan's Guitar Store Precision Pick. Look at the point on that. If you were in an airport with this, you'd be stopped for having a pointed implement or something. They're available on Amazon. There is a link down below. I'm not sponsored by Dan's Guitar Store or anything like that. I just wanted to spread the word because these are pretty addictive, if you can ever say that about a pick. They're really, really cool. For the majority of this lesson, I'm going to be staying within the same key so you can hear how each lick has a different impact. Once you've got them sussed in one position, all you would have to do is move them around to a key of your choosing. Let's start with just single notes. You could take the pentatonic scale as it is. That sounds pretty boring and basic on its own, as if you were just learning a scale, but however, if you take a more of a legato approach to it, you might start like this. Then end on the octave above. It actually portrays a completely different idea. It doesn't even sound like the pentatonic. Give it a bit more speed. Really good to start a solo. You can combine this with other licks that we're going to be using later on, but there's the first one. If you want to make that even more fun, you can add the flat fifth in there, otherwise making it the blues scale. This next lick I call Pentatonic 2s. I first heard it from Vivian Campbell, I can't remember which solo, but it goes like this. Played a little bit quicker, it sounds like this. And kind of interesting because you're putting the pentatonic scale in a slightly unconventional order, and if you look at it from above, it's like you're taking 2 notes from the right, then 2 notes from the left, and picking everything and adding some palm muting. Slowly you've got this. In terms of finger choice, use whatever you feel most comfortable with. In my case, I tend to use the ones that I'm most likely to end on because I like to do a lot of bending and vibrato. It's really, really good for throwing in as like a little statement piece. You get the idea there, just a couple little mini examples. Getting trickier now, triplets. Used famously by Thin Lizzy, Randy Rhoads, Gary Moore, and countless others. I'm going to give you both versions, the ascending version and the descending version. Starting off with the descending version, I'm using a little bit of hammer-on and pull-off action here. I'm going to take you through basically the whole lick slowly. I'm not going to dwell on it for too long. The ascending version is very similar, I'm just picking everything this time. Now, one thing that's important with these particular licks is knowing how to apply them as well. You can make combinations with the stuff that we've covered already. You can go up the descending version of triplets. There you've got a full lick there. If you want it to be extra creative, take the triplet pattern we've just learned and stretch it out with your little finger to 2 frets above where you would have been. So the 12th fret up to the 14th fret and do the same thing and you get a really cool Steve Vai lick. Four's my favourite. Definitely got the effect of, bro, what did you do there? Pentatonic 5s, here we go. These are easy if you break them down in your head into little sections, and this includes economy picking. So what we're going to be doing is you start off alternate picking like most people would. You start with a downstroke, you end the 5th note of the pattern with a downstroke as well. And then what you're going to do is, once you're here, take this downstroke here on the end of it and use just a gentle 2-string sweep over to the B string there, 12th fret, and that would be the start of your next group of 5. And if you break this up into your head as almost like a group of 6, it sounds really silly. It trains you to get into the economy picking idea, so you play it like this. That gets you prepared to do the economy picking thing, and once you've gotten that down, add on another group of 5. That's not any harder. And then once you're comfortable with that, move it up into E minor, and you've got... Eric Johnson, Lick of Doom. 6s, here we go. Very famously used by Zakk Wylde and people like that, Eric Johnson too. And what you've got to do with this one is, I recommend when practicing it, pick really, really lightly and start off with just 2 strings going back and forth. Really, really helpful if you play, if you can break it up like that, because that enables you to get used to the whole scale, but also trains you how to mute correctly and get rid of the any unwanted string noise that may well be there. I'm just keeping my palm where it would be if I was just playing a riff on the lower E string, because it just keeps everything else quiet. Pick gently as well. This is a lick I first heard in Sweet Child of Mine. Obviously move to a different key. And it's dead easy to remember this. All you're doing is you're picking 2 notes on the string below and then going back 2 notes in the scale and just carrying that trend on up the scale. Up we go a note, pick it twice and then back down 2. Let's keep it going. Combine that with any of the runs that we've done so far, it sounds absolutely killer. Take, I don't know, let's combine this with the very first lick we did. Getting weird now, here we go. This one involves string skipping, and just to break it down really, really slowly, you've got this. Absolutely love this. Make sure you've got the triplet pattern down that I showed you before, because this will really, really help with getting this particular lick down, because it forces you to think about using hammer-ons and pull-offs efficiently. It's very hard to pick every single note of a lick like this, so make sure you are using hammer-ons and pull-offs where appropriate. I'm calling this one a fake Steve Vai lick. Now what this one in essence is a shortcut to doing this kind of idea. Where you would do that really cool 2-finger per fret thing. But the idea here is you jump forward a note in the pentatonic, so in this case it would be E. you're picking that twice and then going back a note and picking that twice. Once I've got to the top string there, you could end there on the root, but instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 12 on the high E, back to the B string, 9th fret, reach up for 14 on the high E, pick that twice as per the pattern, 12 on the B, same thing but just up 2 frets. Creates a bit of a Lydian feel on the end there. Slightly different there, but you get the idea of the lick. You'll know where this lick comes from. Yep, pound cake. And what you've got here is I'm bending up the B string up a whole tone, fretting the high E underneath on the 12th fret with my little finger, and then letting the bend down. Then shifting my way down with my index finger to the 9th fret on the high E, and then rolling over to the 9th fret on the B. Then it's like a staggered version of the 2s lick that we played before. All you need to do to make that fully pound cake is move up to F sharp minor, which starts here on the 17th fret of the B string. There you go. This is a Jakey Lee lick. This one again, really helpful if you've got hammer-on and pull-offs down. That's a hammer-on from nowhere onto the B there. Once I've got to the G string there, 11th fret, I then go back up the pattern I once did. I'm hardly picking anything. I'm hammering on from nowhere onto the B there, as you can see. And then what's really cool with this is you can allow this lick to build up your solos. If you know all your pentatonic positions, all you do is shift up a position and you can get a really cool effect. Have a go at that. I'm going to call this one pentatonic fluttering. Here we go. Slowly, you've got this. Here we've got a 6-string arpeggio. Now, that seems like a really short lick to put into something like this, but if you slow it down, it can start off as something that sounds really big and it's growing, so it's really good intro to something. And the reason why I want to put that there is because it's found within the pentatonic box. I'm just picking everything down, starting off with a pick, hammer on, rolling my fingertip across there, the 11 on the A and D, then 9 on G, B and the high E, then ending there on the high E 12th fret. If you want to make it sound even more weird, include the 9th in every octave. Basically including E flat there. Really cool little idea, thought you'd enjoy. Let's add a little bit more feeling into this instead of shredding around. I'm going to show you a little bluesy lick I learned from Tell the Truth by David Lee Roth, except I moved it to the key for the lesson. And the way this one works is I'm on the neck humbucker and I'm going to be starting on the A string. I'm picking the first note and then hammering on. Same on the D. Same on the G, but then what we're going to do is once we get to the G, 11th fret, we're going to bend it up a whole tone. Then, whilst we've got to that full tone pitch, which should be G sharp, We're then going to go over to the B and high E string. We're going to play the B 9th fret and then the high E 9th fret, and they're going to bleed into each other to get that feel down. We're then going to pick the B string 9th fret, then 12. Next part is G string 11th fret, then up to the B string again, 9th fret. Then this one is reminiscent of Pound Cake. We're then going to go to 9th fret on the G, 11 on the G, D, 11th fret, then bend up 9 a whole tone. Or what you could do to round it off, bend it up and then fret a note above. Have some fun with that. Let's use dissonance to our advantage. This time I'm using the interval jumps in the pentatonic, and it goes like so. Taking a little break from shredding here, and what we're making the most of is the string below being fretted and then the lowest note on the string above being fretted. Creates a beautiful effect here, and if you leave the pentatonic, it can be a really, really cool thing to add in as well. You might have that. Bit weird, but I'm sure you could find a home for something like that. Thanks very much for watching this video, you guys. I hope you've liked what you've seen. Please make sure you like, subscribe if you enjoyed it. There's probably some cards on the screen to click on other lessons. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.